Hi. Yes, I misstated a couple things. Well, I want to add too. I just found my 1080p icon, or yeah, so I can now be like HD or whatever. I have it. This camera can do that. I didn't click the button to make it do it, so I just clicked the button. I don't know. Maybe this picture's better now. I have no idea. I don't know. I just hate saying things wrong. On the back of this, I mentioned that it was 15% niacin, 15% vitamin 12, and 15% daily required, or yeah, daily requirement of vitamin B6. Um, I should say that that is per serving. This whole container has 2.5 servings in it, so that would be let's see, 37ish, like 37%. So again, if you drink one of these a day, you'd be getting almost 40% of those easily lost vitamins that give you energy, and it will replenish those. So it's a nice thing to have. I understand, and I want to say too, I understand if some people this is too impure. It has a lot of stuff in it. I mean, it's got its own little ingredients list, right? This may be like too chemical for some people, and I get that. So I don't mean to say you have to get this. That's what I'm doing because I'm not that worried about purity. Okay, that's me. That's the way I'm doing it. The salts thing I push because without salts, it's a long-term fast is pretty dangerous. Like, you don't need to be killing yourself. Electrolyte imbalances can cause heart attacks on top of, all the other damage that can happen to you. It devastates your body. You need the salts to live. You don't need Gatorade Zero. Okay, and one of the reasons I like it too, I like the taste. Right, it tastes good. It's got fake sugars in it. Okay, so I'm not saying you need to do this for health. This is for me. I like it. For you and for everyone else, I do recommend this or some other version of it. If you want to get one that doesn't have dextrose as an anti-caking agent, I get it. I do. That's okay. It's just this is convenient and cheap and it's at your grocery store. To me, it's fine. 0 calories, 0 carbs. The dextrose is barely in there. So I think that was it. Also, the measurements or the numbers I gave on here with the 290 on sodium and 350 on potassium are per quarter teaspoon. And again, you can see all these on here, so you don't have to take my word for it. But they're per. Move out of the way. There we go. If I move my head, it'll look at this, right? So that's per quarter teaspoon. So that's why you multiply those by 4 per teaspoon. And the snake guy, his numbers, he actually had more sodium than potassium, was what he recommended. I'd say it was like a 5 sodium to 4 potassium ratio, and it was about 2,000 of sodium, or I don't know, like 2,500, and then a little bit less of potassium. So if it was like 2,000 sodium, then it would have been like, I don't know, 1,600 of potassium or something like that. We're closer to his numbers. Well, since I'm going anyway, the USD, well, the RDA recommendations for potassium, they state that 500 milligrams is the minimum. The ideal amount, I think they give around 1,000, and 2,000 milligrams per day is their maximum. For potassium, I don't remember what the minimums and maximums are, but they recommend something between 3,000 and 5,000 milligrams, and that depends on where you're hearing it from. I think the WHO might have been 3,000, and then the US RDA might have been 4,700 milligrams, right around there. So they have a recommendation of 5 times more potassium than sodium, but the US RDA really demonizes sodium more than they should, and I think like Michelle Obama has spoken up against that. Other people have spoken out against them really putting down sodium more than they should. And again, my problem with it is that they're not telling people you need it to live. So yeah, and he said the snake eye, he's got a different number here. So this one, again, it's close to 50-50, a little less sodium than potassium, but they're pretty darn close to the snake eye's number. So the person that I first heard about the snake diet from is Pirate Chef. So if you want to, you can check out his videos. He is currently doing a water fast. I don't think he does that all the time. I think he mostly follows the snake diet. The snake diet right now, that guy is doing I guess it's a dry fast, where he is eating, I think it's 2 pounds of bacon and 4 pounds of cucumbers every day, and nothing else, and no water. I guess technically that's a dry fast because he is eating instead of drinking, but there's so much water in cucumbers. And it's 4 pounds of cucumbers. Seems like a lot of cucumbers. They're pretty heavy though. I don't know. That seems like kind of a silly diet. But I think he's just showing the importance of salts, and that if you actually take in a lot of salt, because he is eating a lot of salt. I think it's like 5,000 of sodium and like 4,000 of potassium. It's around there anywhere. It might be 6 and 5, something like that. So he's showing that if you take in a lot of salts, you don't need much water, I think is what he's trying to show with that. And it's just the importance of salts. And you do need water. I mean, the water he's getting is from the cucumber, right? It is technically a dry fast because it's food, okay? But there's water in it. Like if it was just bacon and salt, you know, salty bacon, you would not survive that. But there are animals that exist in nature that live out in deserts, and they eat just roots and things. They're mammals. I mean, they're pretty similar to us. But if you live out in the desert, you could cut open a cactus and drink the water out of it. And I suppose that would also be a dry fast because it's from a cactus. I don't know exactly where you call the line from. I mean, if you eat watermelon all the time, is that a dry fast? I guess that would be a dry fast, but it's a lot of liquid. I guess if you squeeze the liquid out, then it's not a dry fast. But if you eat it whole, then it is a dry fast. Okay. Well, I didn't even think about it before that there is a way to get around dry fasting, which is you could call it a dry fast and eat very wet foods. Yeah. Actually, dry fast usually means water and food, doesn't it? No wonder I'm so confused. Okay. It's a dry fast with food, which I didn't really even think about in itself. But you can do that because there's a lot of liquids in certain fruits and vegetables. Okay. That's what I'm calling it now. It's actually weird. Yeah, so I think I corrected everything I needed to correct. And again, I think it's pretty amazing that that little bit of a headache that I've had for so long is now gone. So I would say I'm going to go with the teaspoon I'm going to bring it out again, the new bottle. Here we are. I'm going to go with the teaspoon of Morton Lite salt. And I'm not basing this on a huge amount of science, so you may choose a different number for yourself. The snake diet guy says it depends on how much sweat you make, I suppose, maybe. Okay, that might make sense. But I would say a teaspoon a day sounds about right, because then you're hitting the USRDA guideline, like their optimized amount, what they say is optimal for sodium. I'd say you need at least half a teaspoon because that's their minimum number for sodium. And that's going to give you some potassium also. Yeah, enough certainly to live on. Yeah, so anyway, I advocate this, but there's other ways to get it if you want something more pure. Sorry to make this into 2 videos. I wish I could edit it and make it one long video, but I lack that talent. Someday. I just figured out the HD thing though, so, you know, I'll give myself applause. If you do watch my video, if you have made it to the end, please leave a comment. Again, I don't care. You can say I'm wrong. You can say whatever you want. I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. It's all right. I'll still be nice. You know, if you like it and if you're interested and, you know, you find it interesting, you learn something from it, you want to discuss something, leave that comment too. Please subscribe. Let me know that you're out there and that you're interested in seeing, you know, me get smaller and water fast. And I'm still learning too. So, you know, if you have some advice for me, I'll certainly consider it. And if I hear something from someone else and I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, I'll put that on here too. Let me know if you're water fasting, you know. All right. Thank you. Bye.